Tesla is rumored to be working on a top-secret project that has not leaked until now. And if the rumors are true, this could change everything. It's not CarPlay or an app store for your Tesla, at least not yet, but I'm talking about an ultra-long-range Tesla, specifically a Model Y that is rumored to be coming soon, like sometime this year, and finally put an end to the dreaded range anxiety. We've been hearing a lot of rumors over the last couple of weeks about a long-range or ultra-long-range Model Y that could come and pack significantly more range, and I know you guys are very excited about that, and I think we can all agree that makes sense, especially given the competition. You've got Lucids of the world and Rivians and others really doing their best here in North America, and then around the globe, there's a lot of innovation happening in the EV space, and specifically the EV battery space. That is why I'm super excited to partner with really the innovator in this space, CATL. They are sponsoring this video because they just made some massive announcements that you guys need to know about. I think is going to really sort of change the whole idea of EVs and the future of EVs, and also might sort of give us our best look yet at what an ultra long range Tesla could be using, sort of the magic behind the scenes, to give us an unthinkable amount of range. It's actually not science fiction. It's here right now. But first, let me sort of zoom out a bit and sort of explain why this even all matters. I know a lot of you guys, you're sort of longtime EV owners at this point. You know all the lingo, J1772, NACS, CHAdeMO, level 1, level 2. You know that stuff, but put yourself in the shoes of a first-time EV buyer, especially someone looking to make the transition, like you once were, from gas to electric. There's a whole lot to learn with that process, especially if you're looking at an EV that's more techy and cutting edge. There's a big learning curve, and one of the biggest sort of concerns for many people out there, of course, is all about range and range anxiety and what happens if I run out? How long does it take to charge my car? These are real-world problems that, longtime EV owners sort of write off, but it's a big deal. Maybe you're a first-time EV buyer or potential buyer watching this video, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And even if you're a longtime Tesla owner, I think that no one can complain about wanting faster charging speeds and better range. I mean, even all the Tesla owners I talk to, not only would many like more range, but specifically they'd like to see less degradation when it comes to suboptimal temperatures. So we're going to kind of approaching summer, so the temperature is going to heat up. That's going to eat into your range. And also colder temperatures. We just sort of passed sort of the brunt of winter, or maybe you live in a colder climate all year round. You know what kind of sort of range loss you're going to see in the real world with those colder temperatures, which is why all these new announcements from CATL is so exciting, because it fixes a lot of these real world problems. Which sort of leads us to one of the first announcements here that is going to be a game changer, and that is Noxtra. This is CATL's new sodium-ion battery platform that is harnessing this sodium technology in a really incredible and innovative way. For example, sodium is 421 times more abundant than lithium used for traditional sort of EV batteries you think about, which means you've got a greater supply, should make the prices more affordable, and also keep prices stable. Also, sodium sort of on its own just is safer and has better thermal management, which is a good thing, especially given how the media loves to sensationalize any little, sort of related or unrelated EV battery fire. I think we all want to see those put to an end, which this is going to help do. But real-world performance is where things get super exciting. Again, especially for those of you who are living in a colder climate or even a hotter climate, this is where things are really going to get exciting for you. That's because these new sodium-ion batteries can handle temperatures from negative 40 degrees Celsius to plus 70 degrees Celsius. And even down at that bone-chillingly cold negative 40 degrees Celsius, they can retain a 90% usable power. You're also still getting around 500 kilometers or 310 miles of range with 10,000 plus charging cycles and real-time BMS monitoring you can actually check from your phone. It also comes in a 24-volt variant for heavy-duty trucks, and this is sort of nice as like a backup redundant power system. So even if things fail, your critical things, brakes, lights, things like that are going to be powered by this. And obviously it's going to be way more efficient and even better than the traditional lead-acid powered system. And to be clear, these aren't science experiments. These aren't hypotheticals. This is real technology going into real vehicles, hitting the road now or very soon going to be coming to market. In fact, this sodium-ion tech is going to be an integral part of another big announcement from CATL. This is the Freevoy battery system, and this tech is going to serve as part of the main energy zone in a truly cutting-edge dual power setup already being built into real-world products that are seamlessly combining performance, reliability, and smart energy design. I'm sure I'm not the only one who sort of thought you could solve the range problem by by just combining two batteries into one. I mean, I know it sort of sounds simple on one hand. I'm sure it's more complicated than I even know of. But what if you could put two batteries together? Or better than that, what if you could take two different battery technologies, sort of playing to the strengths of both of them, combine them together, and get more range? Well, luckily, we don't have to wonder because that's here thanks to this Freevoy dual power battery, which is doing just that. It's two energy zones that is doing some really incredible stuff. Again, the big advantage here is it's sort of able to mix and match different battery chemistries. So LFP, NMC, sodium, like I just mentioned, blending their strengths together, giving you basically all the advantages put together. That means with this Freevoy system, you're getting dual high voltage and low voltage systems, dual thermal management systems, and also two independent energy sources that you can use together to give you incredible range on your EV. And that's where things get super exciting, because with bigger vehicles, which we're starting to see more and more of hit the road with these longer wheelbases, that could mean up to 1,500 kilometers of range, or about 930 miles of range on a single charge. Let me back up and say that again. 930 miles of range thanks to this dual battery power system technology. This also translates over to some pretty incredible stats when it comes to charging as well. To charge up the system, it's supporting 12C of P charging rate, which is actually going to give you about 300 miles of range in 5 minutes. So if you're sitting there ordering a Starbucks mobile order, by the time you finish that order, you've got 300 miles of range ready to use. And when I started digging into this, I was sort of wondering how this works. I mean, is it like sort of like two like batteries put together? Is it two different zones? How exactly does this work? Well, luckily the CATL team is made up of people way smarter than me, and this is actually a dual power architecture with two zones. So there is a main energy zone, and then there's the extended range energy zone, and this is a self-forming anode battery pack, which could be LFP or NMC, depending on the configuration, and again, playing to the strengths of different chemistries and technologies. Normally what this means is that you're sort of drawing from that main energy zone while you drive, but if something was to happen, if it was to fail, if it was to run out of energy, it would automatically switch over to that backup LFP battery in seconds. Sort of think of it like an airplane, dual engine system. If one fails, the other one sort of kicks in, takes over in milliseconds. No muss, no fuss. You probably don't even know what happened. And then there is the brains behind it all, sort of the platform that's going to make sure everything is switching automatically, make sure you're sort of getting the best range, the best efficiency, all that. That is the Shenxing platform, and this is going to do all that. It's going to sort of intelligently manage these two packs, maximizing range, boosting efficiency, and protecting obviously the long-term battery health of these batteries to make sure you can drive it for as long as possible, all behind the scenes, totally without probably the driver giving it a second thought. And I think what's so cool about all this is that it really does sort of paint a very clear picture of how exciting sort of the future of EVs is. I mean, we see so many different innovations in terms of software, and I cover a lot about new models and things like that, but the battery obviously is like the most important part of any EV. That is the core of it all, the core of the experience, and you sort of no wonder why CATL is like the leader in this space, and there's a reason why so many companies, including Tesla, sort of depend on their innovations, because they're doing so many amazing things and really pushing the limits when it comes to battery technology. I mean, look at all the stuff I just showed off in this video. It's incredible to see, and it's coming like right now. And personally, I think it's so cool to see them sort of fixing these real world issues. And again, I think this could definitely be sort of our best look yet at the groundwork for what this new Model Y could look like. If you think about sort of the checkbox of what you'd want in an ultra long range Model Y, we're talking obviously better range. We want more than like the 300-ish miles of range. If they could extend that wheelbase a bit, that could honestly give, as we saw here, way more range, especially if they use this new type of battery. Obviously, we'd like to see some better improvements to sort of charging curves and also sort of losing range in different temperatures, colder temperatures, hotter temperatures. I think it's just very clear that all of these advancements could sort of lay the groundwork for something very exciting. Obviously, many EVs can take advantage of this stuff, and we're going to see some awesome competition, which is good for us. But if Tesla could sort of utilize this in a next generation sort of longer range Model Y, something reportedly we're going to see this year, that could be super exciting, and I think solve a lot of issues many have on there just not being enough range in that new Model Y. All right, guys, so I want to know your thoughts on this. I had a blast sort of jumping into battery technology. I learned a lot sort of from doing my research into this video. Really cool to see what CATL is working on. Again, a big thanks to them for sponsoring this video. Big thanks to you guys for watching. And of course, I love to sort of give back to you guys. If you stuck around to the end of the video, three simple things you got to do as always. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment down below, and just let me know sort of what you would like to see in a longer range Model Y. What is it? Better charging speeds? Is it better capacity for the battery? Is it more real world range? Drop a comment down below and let me know, and I'll give away some higher value Amazon gift cards for this. So maybe I'll do a couple of $50 gift cards to say thank you. So thanks guys so much for watching. Appreciate you all. I'm Robert Rosenfeld, and I'll see you in the next one.